It just started from the point that we needed a stadium which befitted the stature of Manchester United.
Manchester United have confirmed plans to leave Old Trafford and move to a new 100,000-seater stadium. The new stadium, which will be the largest in the UK, will be built on club-owned land adjacent to Old Trafford, with architect Lord Norman Foster saying it will take 5 years to construct. Man United's co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe said the intention is to create an iconic football stadium.
It just started from the point that we needed a stadium which befitted the stature of Manchester United and Manchester United. I mean, obviously, there's a degree of bias because I was brought up in Manchester. I've always been a fan of Manchester United, but I think it is the greatest football club in the world. It's certainly the most well-known football club in the world, and it needs a stadium of that stature, I think. It's more challenging, obviously, to build a stadium of 100,000, but I think the UK needs a stadium of that sort of presence, and the north of England, I think, is the best place to build it. And I just think it will become recognised throughout the world.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that will also help Manchester United, obviously. In my view, it is the world's favourite club. It is the world's biggest club, and I think, because this is bias, I think it's the world's best club. It's obviously had a difficult period for the last 12 years, but it deserves to have the finest stadium in the world, in my view, and that is very much my objective in building a new stadium, that it's the most iconic.
Come alive. A design inspired by the Red Devils trident. A modern take on our industrial roots. 100,000 fans, united as one. A place for glory, a place for pride, a sea of red, the loudest crowd. A majestic arena where history and future collide. A public space, a focal point, a catalyst for renewal. Full of hope for our fans and community. A new home for United. A new place for Manchester. A new future on familiar ground.
Absolutely. So I actually think that the fact that we're going to be aiming to build a 100,000 capacity stadium will give us more opportunities to bring in more fans. So the core fans that have been supporting the club for years, coming to all the matches, we will be able to accommodate for them, obviously, but also for fans that can only come once a year or once every few years. And I think that's the beauty of being able to build a new stadium, is that we'll be able to create more opportunities for all types of fans to come in and to enjoy this the experience at an iconic stadium.
By building next to the existing site, we will be able to preserve the essence of Old Trafford, while creating a truly state-of-the-art stadium that transforms the fan experience only footsteps from our historic home, said Ratcliffe. United have spent the last 115 years at Old Trafford, which currently holds nearly 74,000 spectators, and are expected to continue to play at Old Trafford while the new stadium is built. The new stadium, referred to as a New Trafford in a briefing document, will feature an umbrella design which, according to its architects, will harvest solar energy and rainwater.
This has to be one of the most exciting projects in the world today. It starts with the most famous football club in the world, 1 billion followers globally. So it starts with the fans. And it starts with the idea of making something which is so intense, it brings you close to the pitch. Acoustically, it cultivates the roar.
Manchester. A city, a stadium, a skyline, risen together. Manchester and United, forever entwined. Youth, courage, success in our blood. A glorious history, a future to be written. Where workers once grafted, a new landmark will rise. A A new theatre for dreams to come alive. A design inspired by the Red Devils trident. A modern take on our industrial roots. 100,000 fans, united as one. A place for glory, a place for pride. A sea of red, the loudest crowd. A majestic arena where history and future collide. A public space, a focal point, a catalyst for renewal, full of hope for our fans and community. A new home for United, a new place for Manchester, a new future on familiar ground.